So we got to gather a few materials to cook our dinner tonight. I need oh, there's a few, yeah. Those will probably work. I need a few like willows. Need a few willows, and I'm gonna build a A-frame, or sorry, not an A-frame, tripod, so that I can cook my steaks. See what I can. So we'll head back to the fire and put the tripod together. Okay, so here's our 3 tripod pieces. So we're going to go that one like so, and that one like so, and then that one like so. Again, this tripod's not carrying a ton of weight. Remember what I said sucks about getting old? Yeah, not being able to see. Son of a gun. So I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can frickin' see. And because I'm not generally not trapping very big animals, so. So anyways, gonna get a piece of snare wire with the tripod. I'll come over to this side. Nice thing with a tripod is it's like totally adjustable, right? You can adjust. I'm not using this really for height. I'm using this to hang my my grate from, which I'll show you when I'm done. But so I don't really need to worry too much about that. But tripods are good for so many different things. Holy cow! You can use them for your shelter. As I did, right? Remember on my shelter? That one there's a little flimsy, but I think it'll work. Right? So then I got my grate, and what I'm going to simply do is I'm going to hang my grate off of my tripod. That's all I'm doing. Just going to hang my grate off my tripod so I can cook my steak. But then I wouldn't be alone. So the reason I use alders is because they're green, right? So I'm going to cut off I'm going to cut 4 pieces of snare wire. They don't need to be terribly long. You'll see why. Cutters on my, I gotta get ready for dinner. I just hope that's gonna be long enough. Yeah, I think it'll work. We'll do a test on her here. You know what? We can. That's why we do the tripod, because we can always lower it, right? As long as that grate hangs relatively even, well, you know what? You're set. There you go, man. That's all there is to it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but we got our grate. We got our grate over the fire, ready to cook our steaks. And as I said, we ain't cooking them now, but it's ready for when we are. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add one more chunk of wire to that, just so that it's not so, the fire's gonna be lower when I cook. I just want coals there when I cook, right? I'll tell you what, that fire is frickin' ripping. I had one of these trees that I caught. It's just like that one over there. I'll show it to you in a minute. It was full of sap, like just dripping down the sides. This one right here is kind of the same way. I'll show them to you, but just like running with sap. So the tree gets scarred. However, another tree hitting it or whatever, and then sap just runs out of them. And this one was standing dead, full of sap. So I threw that log on there, and it's like a freaking blowtorch. It's crazy. Nice and hot now. Nice warm fire. Snow's melting all the way around the fireplace, fire pit. Beautiful. Well, I think it's almost time to go for a little walk. Probably about 2 o'clock, something like that. I never really know the time. I've never worn a watch in my life. And yeah, I don't really care. Even at home, I never really pay attention to the time. Like, you know, I just don't, I don't know, don't look. So I was telling you guys about those trees that are just laced with sap. Well, there's one right there. So don't know what scarred that tree up. It could, you know, it could be another tree hitting it. A lot of times bears will scratch at the trees, or they'll rub up against the trees or whatever. They'll peel the bark off, and that's what happens. Well, that sap, I'm here to tell you, you peel that shit off and throw it on your whatever fire starter you have and hit it with your ferro rod, it'll ignite right now. It's just unbelievable stuff. So yeah, if you can find some of that sap, that's great stuff to get a fire going. So, and if you find a tree that's got that sap on it, man, that thing will burn like I showed you. So anyways, yeah, there's lots of that around. Anyways, we're gonna go for a hike here and see what we can find. Time to go for a hike. Check out, we'll go check out this draw behind camp here and see if we can see some animal sign. Hopefully there's some deer and moose sign. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So, well, I'm not looking for nothing right now, but I'm looking for next year. Anyways, let's go for a hike. This is wicked country in here, man, let me tell you. It's it can be thick, and then it'll open up, and then it'll get thick again. You got to be really careful in this country. Look at that, rabbit tracks. Look at that. Nice. Nice to see some rabbit tracks. I'm not hunting anything right now, okay, because I don't need to. And I believe big in conservation. So I'm out here just for a bit of a scouting mission and to come out here and enjoy the woods, the wilderness. And that's what I'm doing. And I brought some food with me. I didn't bring much, but I brought some food with me. And so I'm not here hunting anything. I'm not gonna shoot any rabbits or squirrels or grouse or nothing. I've got enough food to do me, so man, this is some serious, intense, unforgiving country. I'm here to frickin' tell you. Some of these animals, I don't know how they live up here. Tough life. Lots of rabbit tracks. So you know what? There's rabbit, squirrel. I've seen some marten tracks, wolverine, bobcat lynx. So there's all sorts of sign around for sure. You know, so maybe not a terrible place for next year's wilderness journey location. Maybe not terrible. It's not ideal. I like places. I like finding a place where I go, wow, holy shit, is that ever nice? And this just hasn't done it for me yet. But we got time. It still could wow me. Anyways, we'll get some more footage. I'm gonna keep wandering here. I gotta show you guys something here. This is freaking crazy. See that tree? Am I far enough back here? I noticed this right away, and I saw that sap down there at the bottom, but see that tree, how the bark is scraped off of that tree? Well, and you look at that. See those claw marks right there in that tree? And there's frickin' hair. There's frickin' hair there. Fuck, I don't really like seeing that. But you can see this. So what happens, you guys, is the bear, that's definitely a fucking bear. Pardon my language. Guaranteed. Well, I hope it's a bear. Because there's only one other thing that reaches up trees like that. So I'm praying it's just a bear. I can't tell by looking at the hair. It's like brown. It's frickin' long. Man, but you can see the claw marks. I hope you can. I don't know if you can see. I don't have my glasses on because I'm out walking. But can you see those claw marks in there? I hope you can. There's a distinct set. Anyways, fuck. Sorry. Shoot. So what happens is a bear, generally a bear, they'll come up and they'll scratch this tree, and you see how there's no branches? There's scars up there. Like, you guys, I'm gonna turn this camera around. Hang on 1 second here. Hang on. Okay. So I am 6'3". Okay. Those frickin' rub marks, and then the branches are gone for like There's over 7 feet that I'm reaching on this tree. And the branches are gone way, way up. It's freaky. I think I pulled all the hair off of here. Oh, there's little bits there. Anyways, I'm hoping you can see these claw marks, but what I was trying to say is the bears, they will, probably not a good place for me to be frickin' standing and talking. Bears will come up to a tree like this and they'll scratch or whatever, and I've seen them do it. So they'll go to the tree and they'll rub their back up and down. Fucking camera. They'll rub their back up and down against the tree, right? To scratch their back or whatever. And then that's what's probably left the hair on there. But holy man. That is a way up there, man. Like, fuck, that's 8 feet up. There's big bears up here, I know that, but holy cow. Anyways, I hope you can see those marks in there. I always pay attention to shit like that because, well, you have to. If you're out here, you got to pay attention to that shit. If you don't pay attention to that shit, you could be in big trouble, let me tell you. So, what the hell? What the heck is going on here now? Hang on, I gotta turn the camera around again. Look at this tree. It looks like a somewhat healthy tree. Holy shit. I gotta be honest with you. I've never seen anything like that. I have never seen anything like that. That's all freaking sawdust. What in God's name makes that happen? You know what? I learned a long time ago, don't ask questions to which you don't want the answer. And I don't know if I want the answer to that one. I mean, I have to talk to, I got lots of buddies at home that are arborists. So I'm gonna ask them about that. Holy man, is this thick. Way thicker than what I like. I don't really like thick country like this. It's just too hard to see. It's too hard to see game and whatnot, so. But, what do you think did that? Hey? Okay, well, that tree laid there like so. So people that don't really know and go, what are you talking about? Okay, well, that tree would have fallen and been like that for however many years, and then something went rip, looking for food in there. I know you guys, because I spend a lot of time in the mountains. And I have my whole life. Something just broke a branch up ahead of me here. That was a big crack, whatever the hell it was. I don't know what it was, but I pretty loud snap. I have a pretty good, I don't know what you call it. Maybe somebody that watches this can help me out here. I have a pretty good sense of my surroundings. I'm very, very in tune with my surroundings, what's going on around me. I'm very in tune with certain people as well. I can feel when, I don't know, I'm not psychic. I don't know anything about psychic, but I don't consider myself a psychic, but I do have some pretty intense feelings sometimes, and premonitions or whatever. So I don't know, maybe I am psychic. I don't know. Somebody that knows more about that shit should tell me, because I have a lot of intense dreams and whatnot, but I'm very in tune with my surroundings, and I don't feel uneasy right now. Like, I don't feel like, holy fuck, let's get out of here. And I have felt that in the past, but many times. I'm gonna turn this camera around again here, hang on. Anyways, back to the feelings. I think anybody that spent a lot of time out in the wilderness, I talked about it on my other trip, that your senses become like super wicked heightened and whatnot. I've always had that, and I've been out in the woods at times and gone, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Something don't feel right. and I've gotten the fuck out of there. Like I say, I'm not like that right now. Obviously there's a bear. Fuck. All right. Senses are a little more heightened. So when I walk, you can hear that, right? Well, when I'm standing still, I shouldn't hear that. I shouldn't hear that, but I did. So this might be one of those areas that I want to vacate and leave. I don't know. Could be something. Bears aren't hibernating yet. Not enough snow here yet. Bears don't go down up here until like December, early December. I mean, it depends on the winter, but you know, there's a foot of snow here right now. That's not enough snow to put the bears down, guaranteed. But I don't know, there's another, yeah, so there's another stump been torn apart by a bear, most likely. There's just some weird shit in here, in this, where I am right now. Anyways, your senses get extremely heightened when you're out, especially when you're out in the wilderness. Your hearing becomes a lot, not the same, your hearing becomes a lot more acute. Your sense of smell, everything just gets heightened, right? And yeah. I don't even know what to make of this, but here, I'm going to stop and turn the camera. So I found another tree that's just scarred to shit. You know, you see all the sap running down it, but look at those. I don't know. I don't know. I'll definitely be talking to my arborist friends to get their take on that, because I am not a tree expert. I did this last on my wilderness journey. You got the camera on, you just start wandering. And pretty soon, like, a whole bunch of time goes by and you're like, huh, where in the hell am I? So I know where I am. I just gotta find the best way back to my camp. Anyways, if you've spent time out in the woods, I'm sure that you've experienced that heightened senses. And the more and more time you spend, the longer duration you're out there for, the more intense it becomes, right? Which is good. You know, it's connecting with nature again. So there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I love it. That's what I freaking live for, man. But I think I talked about it also on my trip there. You know that I'm a hunter. Okay, I hunt, and not to pat myself on the back, because I just don't do that, but I'm really good at what I do. Okay, hang on, let's turn the camera again, cameraman. Anyways, yeah, I consider myself a very accomplished, very good woodsman hunter. And you know, I get my game. There's another scarred tree. Holy, I get my game generally. You know, it's not all skill. A lot of it's luck, guaranteed, but it's lucky to be good, and it's good to be lucky. Remember that saying? And it's true. You need both. Holy shit. I am not going that way, am I? Okay. I'm going to backtrack a little bit here because I think I came too far up the mountain. Anyways, I consider myself a pretty accomplished outdoorsman and a good hunter. I provide for my family. I put food on the table, and I love it. You know, but it's all about learning the animals, and just as much as it is learning your surroundings, right? You've got to learn as you go to different areas, and I've hunted different areas. I've hunted all over BC, and shit. Oh man, I'm getting tired. I've been out here for probably at least a couple hours, but anyways, I've hunted all over BC and all over Alberta, and you got to learn your surroundings. You got to learn the animals, and I've done pretty good at that in my life, and I'm proud of that. Right, My dad and my grandfather, they were, they were instrumental in teaching me all about the wilderness and the animals and whatnot. And then I learned a lot on my own. But anyways, wow. This is some thick friggin' bush in here, man. Let me tell you. It's time to start working my way back to camp. Because if I am where I think I am, I think I'm about 20 minutes before I'll hit camp. So, anyways, some pretty cool shit out here. I just hope that bear maybe has buggered off, or I hope it's a bear. Anyways, there is other animals out here, there's other things out in the wilderness that you've got to be aware of, and people have different beliefs on different animals and whatnot. A real strong topic that I've been very interested in it for. Look at those mountains up there. I've been very interested in it for many, many years. Is Sasquatch and Bigfoot. And I won't get too involved in it because so many people have so many different beliefs on it and whatnot. But I find it it just intrigues me. I find it fascinating. And do I believe in Bigfoot? Absolutely, 100%. Just like I also believe that we're not the only life form in the universe or whatever. Do I believe in other life forms out there in the solar systems and whatnot? Of course I do. Oh man, I dropped my axe. So I'm pretty open-minded. It's just the way I am, And I don't care. I really don't care if people judge me. I don't care one bit. Oh, you bugger. I'll tell people sitting around a campfire, if the topic comes up, I say, hell yeah, I believe in Bigfoot. The Patterson-Gimlin film, Patterson-Gimlin film, I don't care who you are, you can't deny that. There's no two ways about it. Do they still exist now? Don't know. Did they? You're fucking right, they did. And do they still? They could. People go, oh, well, no, one's never been shot, or one's never been, one's never been, no real clear photos or video or blah, blah, blah. What the fuck are you talking about? Patterson-Gimlin film is the best evidence that's out there. And, whatever. People don't believe it. I don't care. I do. And if you think I'm crazy, I don't care. Crazy's good. I don't think it's crazy, right? People go, oh, well, have you ever seen one? And none of your business. Have you ever heard one? None of your business. I know what I've seen and what I've heard and what I believe in. And people are totally entitled to their own opinion. But anyways, shouldn't really be talking about Bigfoot out here, because this area that I'm in is one of the so-called hot spots. This is an area where there's been a lot of people have had sightings and activity and whatnot, but I don't know what made me share that. when you're out in the wilderness, you come up with lots to talk about. Okay, you know what I need to do? I'll talk more about whatever later, but you know what I need to do? I need to figure out exactly where I am and get the fuck out of here. Because I'm a not turn around, but I know that my shelter, my camp is that way, like down this draw. But I keep zigzagging because it's so thick. So I'm gonna go find my fire, get ready to start cooking some moose steaks. All right, that's enough babbling for now. We'll catch you in a little bit. All right, I found my tracks from where I came in, and I know I'm at camp. Thank God. Oh yeah, man, there's the fire. Fire's still going. Oh, it's just a beautiful fire. It's just a beauty fire. Love it. Love it. Anyways, if I got off on a bit of a tangent rant, whatever you want to call it, about Bigfoot, Sasquatch, you know, if you don't want to listen, don't listen. But there's people out there that may want to listen, and whatever, I'm open about it, man. You know, people, there's just a lot that people don't know. I'm going to turn the camera around again. Hang on. There's a lot of shit people don't know, and especially when it comes to the outdoors, right? Right. So, don't quote me on this, but is it the snow leopard? Right? It was never recorded for years and years and years, like the longest time. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was a snow leopard, and nobody had ever seen one, and so on and so forth. And then I think National Geographic on that show Planet Earth, I think it was, they captured one on film. Right? They actually got one on film, and it took forever. You know, they had all these cameras set up everywhere, and then they finally got one on film, and blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, ask outdoors people. They don't even have to be hunters. You can ask hunters too if you want. But ask outdoors people how many, and I've done it. Ask them how many of you, if you're in a conversation with somebody that hunts or spends a lot of time in the woods, ask them, say, how many wolverines have you seen in your life? Because a lot of people haven't seen a wolverine before, right? Well, just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Because they do exist. The snow leopard exists. There's a lot of animals out there that exist, and we haven't seen them. But there's scientific evidence that they exist. Well, some may argue that there's scientific evidence that Bigfoot exists. The Sasquatch Genome Project, Dr. Melba Ketchum. Check that shit out. All right, a bunch of high-end university scientists conduct a study, and as far as I'm concerned, they prove I ain't no scientist, right? I'm a frickin' redneck mountain man. I ain't no scientist, but they scientifically prove through DNA, which I didn't know much about. You know, I'm not stupid, but I didn't understand the whole DNA thing. But they prove scientifically, without a doubt, through samples. They got some samples in that showed that it was female human DNA, male unknown. What the fuck does that mean? Male unknown. I don't know. Look it up. I looked it up. So female human DNA, and the male portion of that DNA was male unknown. We'll leave it at that. If you want to look it up, look it up. The Genome Project, Dr. Melba Ketchum, tons and tons of evidence. Pretty cool shit. I don't know. Just be open-minded, right? Don't just... So much of society goes, oh, I haven't seen it. I don't believe it. Until I see it, I won't believe it. That's fine. That's the way you want to live your life. That's totally fine. That's not how I live my life. I'm open-minded. I kind of just go, yeah, why not? Why couldn't there be? Why couldn't there be aliens? All that shit, right? So, anyways, you guys probably think I'm freaking crazy now. I ain't crazy. Just have different beliefs than some. So, anyways, you know what? Holy shit, the camera's falling all over the place. Now, we got us a nice fire. We're gonna sit down, relax a little bit, probably an hour before dark, and then we're gonna start cooking dinner. So stay tuned for dinner.